Welcome back to Sports Connection. It's football season. Coming up this Friday night, it all breaks loose. And we're going to start out tonight with one great one here and one of his players, Elmo Stewart, running back here, Greenwood Gators, and Coach William Howard. Welcome to the show.
Thanks. Nice to have us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, I called him St. Elmo's Fire last year. Listen, man, first of all, you got scrimmage under you, a couple, and getting ready to start this season off Friday night. Coach, just going back to the summer camp and what you've seen so far, what are your thoughts on the team?
Well, we lost several kids up front, so we've had to rebuild up there. We got some young kids that stepped up, and luckily we got a scrimmage under our belt and got to evaluate them and probably make a few changes this week and see how it goes.
Obviously, having that kind of fresh start moving into this season, again, it's not always a bad thing, especially with you, Elmo, being a senior. How much has it been for you to step up and just kind of be one of those leaders for this team?
I feel like it's been at first it was big for me, but I feel like as the season goes on, it'll be good for us. And I think coming into that first scrimmage, just bringing the energy, just being able to get all the other guys hyped, just played a lot too.
Who's going to be some of the other guys in the backfield with you back there, Elmo?
We got Telltale, we got Gray, Cam. We got a lot of options. We got a lot of younger guys too that are ready to step up and play up there too.
The coach saying that, you had a pretty good sophomore quarterback last year. Could air it out a little bit, could do a lot of things. Are you going to change up the offense a little bit this year? Is it going to be more like, the Veer, Wildcat, something like that, or what are you going to do?
It'll look quite similar to what it was last year. We'll probably throw a few wrinkles in there that'll be different because, I think Cam Smith's a little bit more mobile kid than Ryan Huff is. So we'll probably run him a little bit more than we did before. But, it was the same thing last year. It took us a couple games to figure out what Ryan was good at and what he wasn't good at. It'll be the same thing with Cam this year. So hopefully those things get solved pretty early in the season.
Obviously, with those couple scrimmages underneath your belt and stuff like that, you want to see that progress through each and every game. Just what are some things that you've seen that has progressed with this team over the course of the offseason?
Well, I think the main thing is just the way they feel about each other and the camaraderie that they have and the love they have for each other because they're a pretty tight-knit group of kids, especially the senior class. And they've done a great job embracing some of the younger guys that had to fill in roles that we had at other kids were playing last year.
Coach, how do you feel about this opener coming up Friday?
Well, Hoptown's a great opponent. They always have a great football team, extremely athletic. They go far in the playoffs every year. Coach Clark does a wonderful job with those guys, so it'll be a test for us.
What are you guys talking about in the locker room, Elmo? You fired up?
Oh, yeah, we're ready. We've been working for this all summer, and we just can't wait for it to get started.
Obviously, this kind of like that last ride and everything like that. Going into this season, you just have to be just wanting to put your all into it, go out there each and every day, just wanting to get 1% better, whether it's in practice or a game.
Yeah. I feel like during the off season, our seniors, we had a meeting about it, and we talked about it, and we talked about what we wanted to do this season. And we told all our seniors and all our underclassmen that every rep we get this summer, we got to go as hard as we can, just so we can get that final goal.
Coach, as far as the game of football, it always seems to point back to it starts in the trenches. What's your O&D line looking like right now?
Well, our offensive line is going to be extremely new. Andrew Thomas is the only returning starter that we have. We've got a couple sophomores that's going to start for us, and got another kid that's moving in at center that's didn't get to play a whole lot of offensive line. The Dean's going to play center for us. So hopefully, and we got Colton Smith and Dawson Drake that's going to play some of the guard position and kind of split time in there because they're primarily defensive players. So, we hope we'll be okay out there. It'll take them some time. I think they got a little eye-opening experience last week in the scrimmage because, sometimes going against dummies is a little bit different than going against a live varsity player.
Obviously, with the new alignments that came out this season, all the ones that are in your district are pretty much the same. So besides the addition of Ohio County, obviously there's South Warren and Bowling Green, and we've talked to them about it too. Just your perspective, Elmo, you can say it as well, just going against teams that you're familiar with and being able to go up against those teams that you know what they're going to bring, you know what you're going to bring. Do you think that's kind of a positive thing where you kind of know what you're getting into, or the fact that you all have Ohio County, which is kind of a newer team?
Well, I think it's great for the community to have rivalry games like that are inside of the same county, and it's great for having fans, and the stadiums are loaded with people, and that's good for us. And it's always a little bit more difficult when you're preparing for somebody that knows what you do, and you kind of know what they're doing, so you got to put a few wrinkles in every time you play them to make something a little bit different. But, it's a competitive district, and, we're just hoping to take care of these first few games and then get into district play and be as strong as we possibly can.
Elmo, do you like offense or do you like defense better?
If I'm being honest, defense for sure.
I love that
Defense for
answer,
sure.
man. I tell you, defense wins championships. You know what they say, but that old adage rings true, Coach. And but you still got to be able to score at some point. But if you had to pick one, Elmo, interception, pick six, or 48-yard dash to the end zone on a 20 dive?
Yeah, 48-yard dash to the end zone, yeah.
Love it. Coach, this young man pretty special?
Absolutely. He's been a part of our program, been a starter since his sophomore year, and kind of been on one side of the ball sometimes, but now he's going to have to play on both sides of the ball as they get older and they get experience. They're able to do that, and they kind of figure out what our system is and learn it. So he's a very special player.
Elmo, obviously, just like having to transition into playing on both sides of the ball, a lot of guys in high school do play on both sides of the ball. Just experience-wise, what does that help you with?
Well, experience-wise, I feel like it helps me with a lot. For me, coming off defense and then going to offense, it's all right. I find it pretty fun actually, but I feel like making big plays on offense and then coming back and then making a stop on defense, can't really beat that.
No, that sets you up for success right there, man. All right, so during the season, I'm at a football field every Friday night with my pregame show, and I talk about all you guys, and I call you Tickle Me Elmo a lot, and I call you St. Elmo's Fire a lot. Are both of those okay, or just one of those okay?
My freshman coach, we had a play called Tickle Me, so Tickle Me's been sticking with us.
All right, good. So I'm good to say that.
Yeah.
I got to find out, Coach. I don't want to mess anybody up and make them mad. If you had to put a grade on, camp this summer and what you've seen, I know I've kind of asked you that, but I didn't ask you the grade. Taking these group of guys, what grade would you put on them?
Well, we're passing right now, for sure.
That's good.
I think our eligibility is still good, but we've got a long way to go. Like I said, with some of the young players and stepping into new roles, but the seniors have done a great job leading those kids and kind of showing them what's expected of them. And every once in a while, you got to kind of push them in the right direction, or maybe yell or something at them occasionally. But they do a fantastic job for us.
Tough love.
Tough love, yes. Elmo, I'm going to give you an opportunity to kind of. There's one thing you always wanted to say to Coach Howard. What would that be?
One thing, just thank you for holding us accountable. He's never, even though our starters, even though I've been a starter since my sophomore year, he's always held me accountable, and he's always been on all the seniors and just keeping us straight.
That was a great question and excellent answer. Coach William Howard, always a pleasure. You're one of the best to do it. Elmo, have a great senior year.
Thank you.
And we'll be back with a little more. It might be the Dragons from Warren Central on Sports Connection, WBKO.